few months ago, we played through the brilliant story of the Roottrees are dead, and there's a second game mode called Roottreemania that we loaded up and found this. Who are you? Oh, who are you, man?
Probably not who you expected to be knocking.
Not you, man. Of all of the people, not you, man.
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year.
It could have been anyone. It had to be Clark. It had to be Clark.
I never wanted
Amazing.
president.
Oh my God, he's the president.
My mother's deteriorating.
I can't. I can't.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
so
rambling.
funny. That is so
I'm not
freaking
here for
funny.
sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork.
Yep.
Now that it's public knowledge that Planted Trust covers any Roottree despite their history with us, a lot of potential.
Yes, man. Yes.
You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. That was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself.
As he does. As he
Long and
does.
short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them, but she's not really going about it
They
the right
all
way.
suck, man. They all
She's not
suck.
taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally. Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this. To each their own.
So now it's time for me to hop into Roottreemania and see if I can figure out who all of these mysterious people are that are connected to the Roottrees in some way, including a little extra sleuthy nonsense again. And frankly, it's a gosh darn mess, man. Possible infidelities, first affair, final affair. It's a complete and utter mess. So let's take a look. We do have some notable events for us to take a look at. The 6 pieces, the Roottree Rift, Clark, a little more about Clark. The 5 Ps, I don't know about that. Roottreemania and Anonymom, all gonna be quite interesting. We also have the previously on the Roottrees are dead that you kind of just saw. So we've got some things to pay attention to, right? A couple dead ends and red herrings that we came across. Go watch the full series if you didn't see it. I mean, it's a complete and utter gem. And then here's Clark coming to us and telling us the things and the stuff. So I have heard that this is a much more difficult array of data for us to get through. Let's just start, right? I think that this is a good place to start is these notable events. So today's August 3rd, 1999. It's been 8 months since I helped Samantha with the research necessary for her book. She was true to her word. She paid me an incredibly large sum of money, never mentioned me by name, and I've managed to keep a low profile. I love that for me. Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release. The 6 pieces. Sam Madson's book about Elias Roottree was released in February, bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. Okay, which means that we do have the successor, which is Clark. Yep. The Roottree Rift in March, the Roottree company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release. Multiple conflicting press releases, clear lack of leadership. Clark Rafferty LaRoe announces the permanent successor to Carl Roottree. Welcome Sam Madsen to the family officially. Company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clanstead Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. Okay, good. The 5 Ps. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. Highest profile of these by a wide margin was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move. 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Okay, it's a good place to start, for sure. And another high-profile misstep, Miracle Roottree, publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a Roottree. Roottree's legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5 Ps to drop his claim. And in a moment, that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm. The test proved he was a Roottree. Oh, here we go. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the Roottrees. Okay, we also got Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottree. In July, an anonymous woman who the press began to refer to as Anonymom appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Roottree led to her birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Roottree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottree and therefore entitled to a share of the clan-side trust. Nobody knew it at the time this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottreemania saga. As more and more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5P's. Court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicions. The DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that their daughter was not a Roottree. Final event caused public disappointment, smugness, countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got ugly, fun of Roottreemania seemed to disappear overnight, and now a month later it seems like a distant memory. Okay, what a mess. What a complete and utter mess. I think we should start with 5Ps if we're going to figure this dude out. I do think we're going to get a ton of information out of the 6Ps' book. So that's something for us to pay attention to. I do have my new pages, which is very exciting. Siblings, cousins, second cousins, third cousins, American school terms. Very nice. Okay, so this is going to be our to-do list, which I appreciate having. And I would like to slap a to-do on the 6 pieces, slap a to-do on the Roottree Rift. I'd like to slap a search on Clark, just because it's good to have. Same with the clan-said trust, in case anything has updated, right? Probably go with Roottree Company, since there may be new things in the news. Carl Roottree, let's throw a Sam Madsen on there. I mean, this is a lot, right? This is a lot. 5Ps, Felix Fellows, Roottreemania, Miracle Roottree. Probably don't need to search DNA test. I kind of thought about it. Anonymom, Jane Doe Roottree. And, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a pretty friggin' good start, to be honest. So, let's start with 5Ps, man. What the hell is Family Doku? Oh, yeah, this was their, like, mini puzzle game that exists inside of the game. I don't need to do that, okay? I appreciate you, but I don't need to do that. Here, charity goal. If we raise, $1,000 from the Roottrees are dead, I'll play Family Doku in a episode. Does that sound good? You can check out our charity. Link in the description down below. It's Olexamas, so we're doing some fun things. Spider search. Let's search 5Ps. That's not how you spell his name, for the record. That's also not how you spell his name. Okay. 5Ps, aka Felix Fellows, is a rapper who has found some recent radio play after publicly being confirmed as a long-lost Roottree and entitled to part of their fortune. His alias, 5Ps, up to the play on 5 Pieces, an article you find on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music, gives his most recent album, The Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason, with the headline, More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. Okay? The review mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davy. Amazing. Author rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. Aw, dude, this is gonna be freaking quality gold content, man. Because I feel like they just took this game off the rails, and I'm all in. I am so all in. Okay, one of the songs of the album is new, others were simply rewritten. So Mother's Tragic Past, I kind of want to... I'm going to throw, like, this entire thing in here. Because I kind of like knowing about the mom as well. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time, holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. Okay, at first the Roottree Company denied it vehemently. Miracle Roottree even appeared on the same magazine a week later, but since then they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. Oh, that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one. Okay, let's start with the Root of All Evil and just see what we can do. It's a 5P's debut album. According to various sources, the album is mostly material he recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, re-recorded with lyrical differences. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. Amazing. After dropping the single, he announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, doesn't seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request a video on MTV, which increased its profile. They caught on, banned the video, which in turn received national news coverage and made it more popular. Okay, let's start with this. Brilliant. And now we can listen to the song, and you already know I'm gonna listen to the frickin' song. This track is the only new song on the album. Subject matter is the song is hypocrisy, and those that claim money is evil. Points out the only people who think money is evil are those that have it, those that can afford to not be greedy. Triumphantly talks about taking the Roottrees' wealth due to it being his birthright. You find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website. Okay, I mean, I have to listen to it. I'm very sorry. This is so drastically important for me. All Your Problems. This is the only single. Received some airplay, didn't make a big splash critically. Here we go.
Attention, attention, Roottrees. This is 5-piece coming at you from the real, you know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money.
Is this Rihanna, brother? I think this is a Rihanna and Eminem song, man.
Man, y'all are hypocrites.
I can't, man. I can't. Yo, it's disturbing catching a sermon from a geezer. I just... You wanna call me classless? Some gangster from Portland? I play that game I came up on the streets. The only streets you rep in are Park Place and Boardwalk. Okay. Yeah. How do I end this? Please, for the love of God, move on to something else. That's just something else, man. That's just something else. Who knows? Maybe it'll be important later. I sure hope not. Stevie Whitlock, a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding, managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. Love that that's actually how you worded it. Became famous in the 1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches. How dare they? I think we should sue. Argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to LA. Awarded her a paltry $5,000 for her news coverage. None of this seems related to the Roottrees. Okay, friggin' brilliant. I don't think that the root of all evil is really all that important. Let's see if we can find this particular headline. The answer to that is no. Okay. How about the fact that this dude's name Dirty Davy, right? Let's do a quick search on Dirty Davy. According to fan sites, Felix Fellows is not 5P's real name. Birth name is David Fellows. Dirty Davy was 5P's previous stage name. Used to sell records and perform live shows in Portland under that name. Some people sell his mixtapes on auction sites. One is apparently called Dirty Devil and another Dirt Poor. Dirty Devil, 5P's first mixtape. Discrepancies and debates about what year it released. Nobody cares, right? Range seems to be somewhere between 1992. One of the songs, Yes I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fan sites claim there's multiple versions with different track lists and song lengths. Okay, I'll humor you on Yes I Can Jump. A song that was on 5P's mixtape, Dirty Devil, seems to be the only song that didn't make it onto a studio album that people thought should have. It references a popular movie, White Men Can't Jump. Brilliant. Reference has caused some confusion. Agreed upon that the mixtape had to come out in 1992 at the earliest because of the movie, but others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. This would have been in 1994. Some take this to mean the album had released in 1994. Others claim he was likely trying to make himself sound older, and he was just a dumb kid. I mean, what are the odds that there's anything on White Men Can't Jump? Okay, I'm happy that we couldn't get a full article on White Men Can't Jump. I'm not sure there's anything for me to really go on here. I do want to look up Dirt Poor, just see if there's anything. Mixtape by Dirty Davy, released in 1996. I feel like Forrest Gump every time I say Dirty Davy, by the way. A lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, Felix Fellows includes someone that would have been revealed to be his distant cousin Raina in a list of attractive women. Okay, yeah. Are we gonna get some nice incest in Roottreemania as well? Lyrics in one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s. Provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. When really released in 1999, much of the rhetoric was toned down to be less overtly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to a character from the X-Files. That sounds like a freaking disaster, brother. That sounds like a mess. Okay, let's do a quick search on David Fellows. Yeah, okay. That's fair. That's all we get from that. But that can get us at least moving along if we go and we take a look at this, because we know we only have one notable person, and that notable person is right here. So this is most certainly the freaking, like, I mean, brother, this is a mess. You made this game way harder. This is David Fellows, and your occupation is that, unfortunately, you're a musician. Not a good one at that, but a musician nonetheless. And then you are... Potentially it's Guy Hudson is who you come from. But let's continue to unpack some more things with our notebook here. So, prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time. Let's search News Time here. So... periodicals, we're going to go news. Right, we gotta search News Time first in the spider search, okay? So News Time, give me a quick spider search. There's now the periodical added. Major news periodical releases a new issue every week. Rapper 5Ps famously appeared on the cover, claiming to be a Roottree. Then 1 week later, Miracle did the same. This started Roottreemania. They appeared to be the de facto publication to get news about the ongoing saga. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go to News Time now. We want Felix Fellows in here. A 5ps.jpg sounds freaking brilliant. Cool. This is good. Summary of both of the articles, as well as a close-up of the photo 5ps is holding on the cover of his issue, have been added to evidence. Let's take a look at these. Yeah, this is exactly what I expected this guy to look like. I'm not trying to be... Look, I'm saying what comes to mind. Okay? I think that this lad is exactly what I pictured. In every way. I think I maybe pictured like a nose ring as well. Like a big hoop right in the nose. 5Ps, aka Felix Fellows, appeared on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. Article concerns his insistence that his father was Guy Hudson. The story was dramatic and sensational, initially dismissed as fake, until a DNA test proved that he was related to Guy Hudson. 5P says that his mother, Joanna, was Zach Morden's secretary when he retired, and then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit, the first few weeks that he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4, after his father learned of the affair. Felix and his mother moved to Portland because she was afraid of her and her son's life. He grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked the register. Next morning, she was found dead from an overdose in her car. I guess we knew about that, yeah. Stolen all the cash, spent it on heroin. Felix went through her... Happy Olexamas, by the way. Time for good vibes and raising money for charity. Only things he had to remember her by was a hairbrush, some photos, stuffed animal, and then he found it. A box hidden in the back of her closet. Inside were love letters, photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away, with the exception of the one photo he appears with on the cover in News Time. Says it was the only one where they were dressed, the only one not from the affair itself. The picture is shown in full inside, added to evidence. Cool. Included some additional history about his career. He was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows. but has never rapped without a moniker. He tried to find success by opening for other artists, even by selling CDs on street corners. Only recently started going as 5Ps. Did some research into the claims, confirmed that Joanna did work for the Roottree company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid 70s. Also confirms she died of a drug overdose. Unable to track down the father. Okay, well, I mean, this is good. Let's make a new section for 5Ps, aka Felix David Fellows. And then we're just gonna throw some stuff in here. Born to these suckers right here. Do a little highlight on that. We're gonna do the piece right here. I think that this is fairly important. And you're related to Guy Hudson. So Guy Hudson is your technical dad, right? So this is infidelity. You guys split up. This is Riley Fellows, mother Joanna, born to Riley and what's his face. So you are Riley Fellows, and then this is Joanna Fellows. The issue is that we don't know your maiden name, and I can't remember if we need that. So then theoretically, this person is also on the original tree. This is Guy Hudson, that's easy. I don't have any new pictures of Guy Hudson, but I'm gonna get one shortly. Now, Guy Hudson he's over here, is he not? Guy Hudson. Yeah, I remember your ass. You were the third president, okay? So, Guy Hudson, there is so much infidelity in this frickin' train, man. You were president the third. We'll get a new picture of you, but I need to go back to my evidence real quick because now we have old Felix Fellows here. And then we also have, this is Miracle Roottree. Charlatans and Thieves. We're going to look more into yours in a second. What I want is a close-up of this photo, which you have given me. So that's Guy Fellows. Roottree family picnic. Come on, man. Okay, fair enough. Claims that Joanna and Guy Hudson were having an affair. She was Zach Morden's secretary. I got a feeling that she might have been sleeping with Zach Morden too, but we'll look past that. So that's Guy Hudson. This is Joanna Fellows. This is Felix Felices. And you were a secretary. And are we still in 3? No, we need 4 to lock in. But I mean, we should be there momentarily, to be honest with you. I just realized Guy Hudson had 5 affairs. Okay. Guy, what the hell, brother? You were getting around. The old appendage was busy. Okay. Good for you, not for your family. Alright. Happy Olexamas. Miracle Roottree. Please don't tell me that he also was having an affair with somebody. I have a feeling he was also having an affair with somebody. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're just a guy. I mean, maybe this is just Miracle Roottree. And then we can just lock one immediately, man. I feel like that you're important to this situation, and you were a preacher. Well, that's a problem. So this is Miracle Roottree, preacher, yeah. He's looking a little rough for wears, but he's doing okay. Unless Miracle was also involved in an affair, but he just doesn't seem like that kind of guy, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's probably still married to Helen Lennon. Well, actually, you know what? I have a feeling that I understand the situation at hand here. Your name is not Joanna Fellows. Your name is something else. We need your maiden name. Let's try searching you. Joanna Fellows. Nothing. Okay. Okay. Go back to our evidence for right now. How about let's do a quick search on Guy Hudson, because I'm sure there's some new nice things about him. Only president of Roottree for a few years in the late 70s and early 80s, mostly faded into obscurity except for the fancy flavors debacle, which I believe we have looked into. There's no more that we care about here, so that's good. Older version of this page in the Time Travel Archive, I don't care at all. Suddenly rose to prominence again after 5Ps appeared on the cover of the magazine. Few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, probably a holiday. They often got out of hand. This fact has led some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash, he was drunk or impaired in some way, but the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves there was no foul play. I mean, let's give you a quick search. Do we have periodicals for the Butler County Times? So let's, Guy Hudson, real quick. Page hasn't been updated for at least 8 months. Fair enough. How about the police? Nothing. How about 5Ps? How about Joanna Fellows? How about just Joanna? How about Morden? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so this is the car crash. But yeah, I mean, there's not really any real information on that. This is still saying that I got two evidence pieces. Brother, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Turn that off. I don't wanna know it. I wanna just roll, okay? This is gonna make the game way harder, and that's okay. I'm here for a long time and a good time. Zach Morden. Zachary. How about just the Mordens? Friggin' nothing? Okay. Zachary Morden. Okay. Not sure what else we can glean from this yet. Well, I mean, we could look up Riley Fellows, to be fair. Riley Fellows. How about periodicals? How about periodicals for the Fellows? How about Riley Fellows? Okay, fair enough. How about news time for Guy Hudson? Theoretically, he should be on... Yeah, he's just in that. Okay. How about anything about the Roottrees? Would have seemed logical for there to be, but we'll look past it for now. Harness the power of his lineage. Okay, I did want to do a search on the Roottree company, just because there's definitely a chance that we'll find some new things. Much has changed over the last many months at the Roottree Candy Company. One of those things is its website. Although during your last search, you only got a good look at the history page, design itself had clearly become much more sleek, very corporate. Gone is any history focused on Elias Roottree, that seems logical. Instead, the site seems focused on the present status of their candy offerings. High quality JPEGs of each product. Small ads for Root, the clothing company owned by the Roottree Candy Company. Small section at the bottom that lists Clark Rafferty LaRoe. Short bio mentions he was responsible for some of their marketing before taking the reins after the unfortunate plane crash. Also a small memorial section for those that perished in the crash. The Roottree sisters Carl and Brenda, Kurt Johnson, Mark Sanchez, Trish King, and Eliza Nicholson. Okay. I mean, those all become very important people. We can remove you. We can remove you. We still have quite a bit for me to bring in here. We can remove you, because we did that. We can remove you. We can remove you. We can remove you. More poser than my action figure collection. I'm not sure why I highlighted this, but I am going to do a quick search on this just to see, man. Just to see. It just gets brought up in that. Okay. You can be removed. Root of all evil, we also looked up. Okay, so let's now do a section on... Well, I want on my to-do list to throw in all of these people. So let's highlight that. Do a quick search on Roots. Small memorial section. Okay, yeah. So there's... Oh, God. Yeah. The Ruby Legal Enterprises. Let's read this. The Root website has a small memorial section for the deceased members of the family. Contains no new information. It's not true. Most recent catalog, spring 1999, had an entirely black cover with no text on it. Leadership page, you learn that Root is currently managed by a designer who was apparently Brenda White's second in command. That's Brenda Roottree, yeah. You don't recognize her name, she seems unrelated, who cares then? Also, a scholarship page, you find information about the Roottree's Sister Fashion Scholarship, awarded to 3 underprivileged high school girls wishing to pursue a career in fashion. Sounds good. Fund was created directly from shares that would have contributed to the inheritance of the Roottree sisters if they were still alive. Like other aspects of the Clan-Said Trust, it's managed by Ruby Legal Enterprises. Okay. This seems like a good time for us to go back to the Clan-Said Trust and see what has been updated on this. The Roottree company's unusual legal arrangement, motivation for most of their major financial decisions. As a recap, entire family earns inheritance directly from the profits of the candy company. We know about this. This means that nearly every Roottree can potentially have a say in the company's high-level operations, and it's caused the family to be slow to approve any major expenditures that could significantly dig into profits. After the release of 6 pieces, Clan-Said Trust came under heavy scrutiny. Sam, her children, grandchildren, all should have been covered. According to wording revealed that there was internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottree. Seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy Edward Roottree, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details in an attempt to keep Sam and her father Edward Clancy's twin brother in comparative poverty. Because the rest of the family made money hand over fist, they had very little motivation to question it. Didn't go over well. Clark took over. Most celebrated move was the first one. Sam's family would get their share. Inheritance aspect is now under the control of Ruby Legal Enterprises. They're going to be a hell of a search here in a second. I would like to just search them now. Let's go. Ruby Legal Enterprises, name of the law firm that has been hired by the Roottree Candy Company. Company is named after its head lawyer, Ruby Spratt, who I'm just gonna be that guy real quick. All right, do me a favor and click on the unknown names. Scroll down to last name Spratt. And yeah, okay. That sounds good because they're gonna definitely end up having an affair with somebody at some point. Where am I? We're over here. So Ruby Spratt. Let's make a new page for Ruby Legal Enterprises. And we're gonna throw in Ruby Spratt. Do a little highlight. Let's throw this whole thing here. Can't find much about the company from years before, though all the articles tell the same tale. Fiasco of 6 pieces and the revelation of the internal law group was complicit in such a cover-up they hired outside counsel. Recently in the news due to a high-profile lawsuit they raised against Sisely Sanchez. Let's start with this because I have a feeling Ruby Spratt's going to go down deeper. So Sisely Sanchez, author best known for Portrait of a Changed Man. Released in 1979, her follow-up, Foreign Gospel, did not perform as well critically, but still sold quite a few. Written a few more books, including a biography of Van Gogh. Who cares? Fair enough. Here we go, brother. Sisely is known for a non-fiction with a focus on exploring darkness in the human psyche. Recently appeared in a magazine called Picotee, with an article about a book she had been commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. What are the odds that you were sleeping with Guy Hudson, huh? I see anybody at this point, and I'm like, they're probably sleeping with Guy Hudson. There's a chance I'm sleeping with Guy Hudson at this point. We're gonna get Picotee in there. We also got 2 books that we got to get in here now. So that's good. Give me a little chickadee Picotee tea. Picotee is a category of flower. Nope. I would like the magazine, brother. Picotee Magazine. Picotee Magazine is a publication that, as far as you can tell, has no consistent theme. I'm sure it performs really well. Tends to contain tabloid-esque articles that appeal to a wider variety of audiences and appear in many grocery stores near the checkout line. It's one of those. We know all about them. Unlike traditional tabloids, it doesn't typically feature celebrities. Instead, it tends to latch onto and create sensationalist headlines about whatever subject appears to be popular at any given time. Recent years, this has been Beanie Babies, Magic Eye Images, and even Red Bull often come under fire for printing fiction along with facts. Gets around this by stating in every issue that all of its articles are all the hearsay that's fit to print. That's pretty good. Ran an article about Sisely Sanchez, an author. She claims to have written an unread book about Guy Hudson. Article was not even the main focus of the issue. That particular issue, the Big Sass Sea Bass, was pulled from the shelf. Now became a collector item, especially amongst conspiracy theorists attempting to figure out what the Roottrees were hiding. You find a recently finished online auction that listed a copy at over $1,000. Okay. There's a lot going on here. We need to search the big sass sea bass, get some of that action. I want to continue to go back, though, because I also want to make sure that we get these books in. So we are going to copy the. We have them over here. Let's go to our public library. We're gonna go Portrait of a Changed Man, and this is Sisely Sanchez, not Sanchez. Okay, Portrait of a Man, out of print. Book's description has this to say: what if everything you stand for, everything you know to be true today, could disappear in an instant? All your politics, relationships, gone in the blink of an eye. Would you still be you? Tells the powerful story about a man who woke up after being saved from drowning in his backyard pool and became an entirely different person. Included are interviews from those that knew him best before, as well as a one-on-one chat that paints an entirely different picture. You won't be able to put it down without wondering, what if that were me? Okay, I'm not sure that that's too concerning for me, but I do feel like this one's gonna be interesting. Just kidding, it's not that interesting. Foreign Gospel tells the tale of a man from the Catholic Church who claims he was told by God he should travel to Thailand and begin to preach, specifically with the goal to convert 10,000 people. Returned to the US after just over 2 years, claiming to have succeeded. Tells the version of the story, but the author, Sisely Sanchez, also traveled to Thailand to investigate the claims and talk with some of the so-called converted. Okay, I would like to go back. I don't think that either of those are important to me at all. And I really don't think that the book about Van Gogh is probably all that interesting either, but I'll frickin' humor it. Sisely Sanchez. Book title, Van Gogh. Fair enough. Okay. Maybe we can figure out exactly what that is, but we do want to look at this Picotee article, because Sisely Sanchez seems like a fairly important person. We also have not even looked into the miracle issue yet. But let's take a look at this. So this is Picotee, June 1999. Baselbub, could this popular gift be filling homes with satanic messages? No, probably, is what I would say about it. Concerns an unreleased book she had written about Guy Hudson. Seems that it used photos of Guy that Sisely did not own the rights to publish. Unfortunately, the magazine was issued a cease and desist by the lawyers. Magazine was pulled from the shelves, and the version you found in the periodical search had the relevant pages removed, rendering this magazine useless unless you want to read about a potentially demonic fish toy. It's a red herring, okay? Literally a red fish. Good. That's good. Let's read about Miracle, and then we're going to go back a little bit. I've got too many things started now, which is... it's how this game gets you, man. It's how it gets you. Miracle Roottree appeared on the cover at News Time shortly after 5Ps did, vehemently denying that 5Ps was a Roottree. This was before the DNA test proved it. Miracle doesn't focus much on the details of 5Ps' accusations. Instead, he comes across as exhausted, which is fair. He's probably like 80 in this at this point. Starts with the 6Ps' content. He says that although most of the book... I really should do that book, but we'll get there. Says although most of the book was based in fact and left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda, points out Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division, and that Sam did the same before her. Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. Claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says the story about his father, Elias, shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, Elias allowing him to earn food, shelter, company's dime, yada yada. Miracle pivots to the fallout from 6Ps, recounts a deluge of claims to the clan-said trust that the family's been subjected to, doesn't cite specifics, but says every time someone comes forward, the family devolves to arguments. Had to hire an outside legal team, we know about them, all they do is tarnish his family's reputation. Focuses on 5Ps, who appeared on News Time before him, calls him a grifter and a delinquent. Start calling him something else, brother, too. Says he is using his name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. Cites his lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly. Prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. I won't say anything. Turns to the future. He states that those who wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour. Okay. Gonna highlight that real quick. It does not go in here, but I'll look it up shortly. The Miracles Roottree are planning on touring the country's churches one last time, and now at age 71, he's the oldest living Roottree. Plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour. This is your last chance to hear the truth from the man with the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families. Okay, I'm gonna add a page for Miracle Man. We're gonna do the Miracles Roottrees. It's not how you spell their name, but that's fine. I want to throw this in here because we can probably find something about the Butler County Times periodical about this. Article mentions that Miracle's son, Miracle Jr., did not wish to comment, but has a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRoe. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitely disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. Yeah, that's me. I'm the guy. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Madsen being born the year before him. Unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. Okay, let's do a quick look on this, because this is theoretically plural of multiple people named Miracle Roottree is Miracles Roottree, because pluralizing things like that is fun. Okay, how about we throw tour? Sorry. Miracles Tour. Miracles Roottree Tour. Okay. Farewell Tour. Farewell Tour. Miracle Farewell Tour. Seems Miracle Sr. is going on a new tour of the United States in late 1999. Previous flyer for the 3 generations of Miracles has been replaced. This is an old... Yeah, okay. Be part of the history. The oldest living Roottree reprises and retells his incredible true story. Grew up as one of the famous 5 pieces, living a life of wealth and luxury. Fortune was nothing compared to the powerful force of the Almighty. Doctors determined he was destined to die young, but fate had different plans. Lived a long and fruitful life, however, he's now in his 70s, and his age is making it hard to live on the road. Consider this your last chance to see him in a town near you before he settles back down in Pennsylvania. In his intimate evening, Miracle will reminisce about his famous history, discuss his family's saints and sinners, and provide a unique perspective on one of the most notable families in the United States. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion. Learn how his life has become more wealthy in spirit than it ever could from his inheritance. Also lists the churches he will be appearing in and mentions that tickets can be purchased at local services. Noticeably absent are any mentions of Miracle's news appearances. Okay, I gotta get into a periodical for the Butler County Times and bring up Miracle Roottree. Miracle and his sons. This hasn't been updated. Let's go with the farewell tour. It's a name of the tour. 3 generations of miracles. But it's not a new tour, brother. It's not a new tour. 3 generations. Farewell? Okay. I am annoyed by this one. How about churches? Churches? Church. It's just a church. Maybe religion. Okay, I think this is pretty fair at this point. Let's go back. Miracle Sr. Going on a new tour, 3 generations of miracles. I mean, brother, there's not much else in here. So I think I'm going to go back. I'm not sure what there is to do here. Besides starting to look into the book for the 6 pieces, maybe something else will happen there. Let's do a quick search on Edward Clancy. Edward Clancy Roottree. Really? Seriously? How about Clancy Roottree? Really? Ain't got nothing on this guy? Okay. Is Clancy Edward is the other Clancy Edward Roottree? Okay, this is technically a new page here. I'll take a read. Clan said trust, yada 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 yada. After the release of the 6 pieces by Sam Madsen, Clan said trust came under heavy scrutiny. Sam, her children, grandchildren should all be covered. Conflict between Ron and Rob. This is the same page as the Clan Said Trust, actually. Give me a quick search on Sam Madsen. 6 Pieces, Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family. That's the book. Let's just get this book in here. This is going to print out like a million things. So this is Sam Madsen. I'd expect some pictures. Yeah. A whole PDF file. Is good. Go back to this for now. Perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash. Reviews were mixed. Its time on the bestsellers list was limited to about 2 months. Most reviewers agreed the core of the book was compelling, and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottree was deserved. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. Which is very fair, to be honest with you. Fallout from the book led to the Roottree company scrambling to release a statement due to a conflict of leadership, famously releasing multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. It's a modern corporate company. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture to a late-night sketch about indecision-itis. The more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottree Rift. That was on the to-do list, right? The Roottree Rift? Yeah. Let's also throw indecision-itis on here. Sam Madsen we can now remove. The Roottree company we can now remove. Clan Said Trust we can now remove. Miracle Roottree we can now remove. We haven't actually searched Clark yet. 6 Pieces we're currently in right now. A few months later, due to Roottreemania, book re-entered the charts, sold even better. Okay. So that's... We can now do 6 Pieces. That's what led to this. Okay, so let's remove that as well. Not bad. Okay, I think that's a good chunk of stuff. Let's take a look at the stuff here, but I may not look at the evidence in this episode. Leave you on a little cliffhanger. Sam Madsen's book was released earlier this year, details the truth about Elias Roottree, as well as Sam's fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. You help verify her story, so much of the book's core contents are familiar. That said, Sam did have some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter to the primary purpose of the book, and some of it is new and may be important to my new search. These have been added to your notes. Gotcha. Okay, very interesting. And that is this right here. A horrible book. Just the worst. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but brother, this is a terrible cover. Just absolutely atrocious. And this means that Miracle Roottree is definitely in this frickin' set, which means that he had some infidelity at some point. And that means it would have to have occurred here. So I think that this is actually... I think this is our boy. I think that this is, unfortunately, Miracle got into some heat in his early days. Or not. You know what? I actually didn't put all of his stuff in here. This is Miracle Roottree. Maybe he was just a good guy. No, you know what? It took it out of here because it could have been there. That's a good point. We still don't know your maiden name. Which is definitely causing an issue. Boy, I locked in nothing in this episode. 46 minutes, we locked in nothing. I've learned nothing. But really, I think we've learned a lot. It's Roottreemania. I'm excited to be back. It seems like there's a hell of a story for us to unpack here, and I'm excited to continue to unpack it. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.